of the lower body. So today we're going to start looking at muscles and what they do. What do your muscles do for you? The main function of the muscular system is movement, right? Walking, picking up a ball, talking, even the muscles in your face, right? All of that is movement. Muscles, the only tissue in your body that has the ability to contract, and therefore it can move other parts of your body. Muscles only pull, they never push. So when we're talking about the muscle system, we're going to look at in which direction they pull. The second function is to maintain your posture and your body position. That's all muscular. You have three types of muscle. Today, and mostly in these videos, we're going to look at skeletal muscle. Those are the ones that attach to your bones and allow you to move. But you also have smooth muscle, and that's located on internal organs, down your esophagus, in your stomach, right? And in the uterus. It's a smooth that allows contractions inside of organs. And then cardiac, we can look at that for cardiovascular health. That's the heart muscle, right? It contracts in a different way. Cardiac muscle has properties of both nerves because it's innervated and muscles, and we can look at that separately if you'd like. But we're going to look at skeletal muscles today. The first thing I wanted you to know is that the human body has over 600 skeletal muscles. I have a little poster up here that shows you some of the illustrations of the muscles. They attach to and move bones by contracting and relaxing in response to voluntary messages from the nervous system. So we have involuntary. You don't have to think to make your heart beat. You don't have to think to make your lungs function. That's involuntary muscle. Skeletal muscle is voluntary, whereas your brain has to send a response, your muscles send a response to your brain and then they move. So we're going to look at the muscles of the upper body. So we're just going to start simply with the biceps, right? And the scientific names are the biceps brachii. We know that bi means two. So there are two heads of the muscle that arise on the scapula, and that's this bone right back here. We talked about the bones. And so this is you call it your shoulder blade, that's your scapula, right? That's where those arise. They form a single muscle belly attached to your upper forearm. The function is to flex the forearm. So they pull. They attach here and they pull up. Right? They're going to pull on the foot. This is your forearm. Pull toward the center of your body. So we're going to look at two separate exercises for the biceps that you can do to try to. And I have 10-pound weights. And I'm going to do all of my demonstrations with 10-pound weights. You can use 3 pounds. You can use 2 pounds. You don't have to use any weights. You can just use your own muscles to push against themselves. But a basic bicep curl, you're going to put your hands forward here at your sides or in front of your thighs, but I have a mic, so we're going to do them at their sides. And you just contract the muscle up. You squeeze up, right? You can feel that muscle contract, and then you can release it and let go. So it pulls your forearm toward the upper part of your body. That's a basic bicep curl. That's all you have to do. You could do 2 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10, 2 sets of 20, however many that you wanted to do until you start to feel a burn. Once you feel a burn, that's lactic acid, and that's good for your muscles, right? So we have also a hammer curl. So biceps this way, hammer curl is straight on. So you're cutting with the base of your weights, toward you. You just do the same thing and you curl up. That's a hammer curl. You can do 1 arm at a time. You can do 2, but you can see my bicep contract as I pull the muscle, or as I pull the weight up. And you could do, if you want to start out with a heavier weight than 10 pounds, that's fine. At home, I bicep curl 25, but here I'm just doing exercises for you for 10s. But bicep curls, that's the first muscle of the upper body that we want to look at. We want to do a little discussion about differences in agonists and antagonists. If you know the terms, anti means against, right? If you're reading a book and we say, who's the antagonist? That's the villain or the bad guy, right? So we have antagonist muscles. We also have agonist muscle. That's the muscle that is contracting. So when we would do the bicep curls, right, that's your bicep muscle. It's contracting. So that's the agonist. And some people think the agony of doing the movement, that's our agonist, right? Well, the antagonist is the muscle that is relaxing or lengthening. So you can't just contract your bicep and no other muscles in your body work, right? We have to have muscles that relax as we contract others. So here we're going going to look at the triceps. The triceps brachii, and brachii just has to do with where it is here on our bones. Tri means 3, right? They are the antagonist of the biceps. When we contracted our biceps, right, then the triceps were relaxing or lengthening. So they are on the dorsal part of your arm. Dorsal means back. They're on the back part of your arm here, right? Dorsal is the back. A dolphin or a fish has a dorsal fin on its back, and they're in the shape of a horseshoe on the posterior of your arm. The function is the extension of the elbow joint, right? Extension means we're pulling it back this way. So if we want to do exercises, we have 4 separate exercises here for the triceps. The first one is a push-up, and everybody knows what a push-up is. I'm going to get down on my mat, and it's easier if I show you with my mic on. You can do it from your knees or from your toes. It doesn't matter. Make sure that you've got your chest located over your thumbs, and you're going to drive your body down over your thumbs and push it back. For a tricep push-up, sometimes you want to keep them close to your body and come in and out, back out. You can feel the difference here between a tricep push-up and here is more in your chest. And we're going to look at your chest here in a little bit. So a push-up is one. The second one I will show you is called a skull crusher, and they call it that because you don't want to drop the weight on your skull or it will crush it. You can do with one weight and hold it this way. Some people hold it this way, and you just put it above your head like this. Here's your tricep muscle, and we're going to go down and squeeze it back up. Keep your elbows close to your head. We don't want them out here because then you're not working your triceps anymore. You got to keep them here. So you go down and back up, down and back up, right? You should feel it here. That's the tricep muscle. Plank ups are pretty easy. You want to get into a plank from your hands, straight up and down, right? Squeeze your butt, squeeze your legs. You go down onto your elbows and back up. Down onto your elbows and back up. That's a plank up. You're going down and up. Huh. And the last one for your triceps that you can look at is what's called a kickback. Lean forward slightly at an angle, bring your elbows up, hold them, keep them up in the air, and you just kick back with the weight. You can see my triceps work. Kick back, you can do one at a time, you can do both of them at a time, it doesn't matter, but that's a kick back. That's for your triceps. The antagonist of the biceps. All right? Moving right along. The next muscle is called your deltoids, right? You have 3 heads of your deltoids. They are a triangular muscle located at the top part of your arm or on your shoulder. The 3 heads are here, right? They're kind of like where you had shoulder pads in the 80s. Those are the deltoids. They're named after the Greek letter delta. This is the Greek letter delta. There are several different exercises we can do for those. I'll just show you a few of them. The first one is called an upright row. So you want to stand with your hands, your palms facing you, and pull up. And you can feel that on your deltoids, right? You lead with your elbow. Lead with your elbow and pull up like that. And you can do, again, you could do one at a time if you're not strong enough to do both. Like that, that works just as much as doing them both at a time. The next one is called a front raise, and this is for the anterior head of your deltoid. You're just going to go straight up and back down. You could do one here, one there, but that's either way. That's to the front. And then a shoulder press, right? You hold your weights here and you go up overhead and come back down. Up overhead. You can feel that if you start doing a bunch of those in your shoulder. They also have, it's not on here, but it's called an Arnold press. You start in front of your face and go around and up and back down. And that works for shoulders as well. And then a lateral raise. Right here we raise to the front. Lateral raise, you just raise to the side. Lateral, this way. That's harder to do, especially with 10 pounds. But that's, those are the 4 exercises I have for the deltoids. Always keep your water around and get a drink when you get sweaty. The next set of muscles are the latissimus dorsi muscles. I told you that dorsal means back, so latissimus means sides of. These are the muscles on the sides of your back. If you hear those jocks, they talk about their lats. That's what they're talking about, latissimus dorsi muscles. It's the largest muscle in the upper body, meaning from here up, right? The function is to adduct extend and internally rotate the arm, but they also support the spine. We're going to look at, when we look at lower body muscles, the difference between adduct and abduct. But right now we'll just think about it adducts and extends that arm. There are two separate exercises here we could look at for the latissimus dorsi, a bent over row. Just like it sounds, right? You're going to bend over. Make sure you don't bend like that. You want to keep your back flat. Don't round your back, because once you start rounding your back this way, you're not working the muscles anymore. You want to hold them straight down like this and row back. Bring it to your rib cage. Not clear out here. Not clear out here like that. That's wrong. You'll mess up your muscles. You want to bring them to your rib cage. You can feel that. You want to have your scapula touch, or your shoulder blades touch each other and meet in the back. That's a bent over row. You can also do that seated. That's the only reason I put that on there. And you can use some bands, which I'll show you later. And then the final page here for the muscles of the upper body, we're going to look at the pectoralis major and minor muscles. Pecs, that's in your chest, right? You hear about, they flex your pecs. So they connect the front walls of your chest with the bones of your upper arm and shoulders. So they're not just right here, they come out this way. And if you look on our drawing, and you can look somewhere in a book, you could see those where they come out this way and go there. They depress or adduct the arm, and they're the antagonist. Remember, we talked about the opposite movers of the deltoids. So we have some exercises. We've already looked at push-ups, but I'll show you the other two on the mat. And the two are chest press and dumbbell flies. So you want to be careful when you get down. Don't get down too quickly. You could get dizzy. For a chest press, you're going to hold your weights evenly here, right? And then you're just going to squeeze your chest together. Up, squeeze those deltoids together. You can feel it here in your arm, and you can feel it in your chest as well. So it's just a straight motion. For a fly, that's a little bit different. What we're going to do is hold our weights here. Let's hold them straight up and down like this. And you're going to reach way, I'm going to hit the wall. Let's just do it with one arm. Reach way out and come back together like you're hugging a tree. You want your wrist over your elbow. If you do this one, you're using bicep. You want your wrist over your elbow like that and come back like you're hugging a tree. You can feel your deltoids squeeze together on the way up, and you can also do some little pulses. That will help before you squeeze, which kind of gets those innervated enough to work. And we can go ahead and talk about these. We're going to look at, in the next video, muscles of the lower body, but I told you I was going to tell you the difference between abductors and adductors. If you get abducted, that means you're taken away, right? Someone comes and gets you and runs away with you. Well, the abductors are muscles that move your leg, or really any muscle, away from the body's midline. So if we're looking at our body here, we're going to adduct. That means or abduct. That means we're taking it away. We adduct, right? Abduct this way. The adductors move muscles of the legs back toward the body. So we abduct it and adduct it. Right? We abduct it and adduct it. We take it away and bring it back. So we're going to look at these two types of muscles. Now, abductor muscles, the ones that take it away, are generally stronger than the adductor muscles. Right? And we're going to look at the muscles of the lower body and the muscles of the core in our next video. But we hope that you can use these pointers. Maybe grab a set of weights, grab a set of water bottles, grab anything that you have around the house to work out, because that will help you to develop a good self-image. It will help you mentally and physically as well. So please give us a thumbs up and share these videos, and we'd like to thank you for joining us today.